Hello, my name is Feldrin and welcome back to Dungeon Siege 3. It's been quite a while since the last recording. Work has been keeping me rather busy lately, but I'm planning to update regularly from now on again. So let's get this show on the road again.
I have never seen a waterfall so high in the mountains before. Pretty though.
That's a nice bones. Look what you've done. Think you can just blow up the mountain as you please, huh? Fool soldiers, playing war games you don't understand. Always eager to tear things down. You just blew up my front door.
Ah, then you have an excuse to redecorate. Perhaps this time you will build a door that actually resembles a door, yes?
Yes, and a damn good one. Kept you gits off my side of the mountain.
We're not from the Royalist Army, and we're not from James' army either.
Of course, my mistake. How could you be soldiers as heavily armed as you are? Expeditioners, mountain explorers, no doubt. To be honest, I don't care why you're here or why you think firing cannonballs is a good use of your time, as long as you stay clear of my home.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? You all look like you stepped out of a Stonebridge parlor room. I've never seen prettier mountain man. To answer your question, I'm Ibsen IV, and this is my home. It's far from your civilized world, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Are you any relation to the famous Ibsen Yamas? The overseer of Glacern?
Unfortunately, yes. I've lived long enough to see everything my ancestors built come crashing down. The whole country's falling apart. I don't need any of that. Everyone tries to rebuild the old kingdom, but all they do is tear things up even more. Out here, things are simple.
We need to find a way into the Glitterdelve mines. Do you know how to get inside?
Through this pass? There's a way, but good luck finding it. The blizzards are fierce around here. All that snow will turn an experienced mountaineer around. But I'll make you an offer. You fix my front door, and I'll show you the way.
Your front door was a wall of crystalline ice. How do we replace that?
This isn't just any mountain. That waterfall you just walked past. A bit peculiar to have flowing water here, don't you think? That's geomancy at work. Dwarven magic. It can do all sorts of things. In this case, it heats the rocks and stops the water from freezing, so it'll flow into the mines. Fresh water year-round. It's all part of a vast magical system. The Stone Stream. Amazing work of art. Disrupt that, and that waterfall will freeze right up and make me a new door.
As far as I know, there are no consequences to doing this. And this is just another influence opportunity. For Katharina, it's this one.
All right. If that's what it takes, then we'll do as you say.
Perhaps not the best way, but let's face it, it's damn cold up here. I vote for expediency.
Good. It's hardly something to worry about anyway. The Stone Stream's magic moves through conduits all over this mountain. 3 of them flow out to the surface in this pass. They burst out of raised holes in the ground, an odd floating line of stones. Hit them a few times and you'll collapse the opening. Believe me, you won't hurt anything important. It'll be like cutting a leaf from a tree.
How will I know that I found these openings?
Look for cracks in the ground with a line of stones floating out of them. They'll stand out, you know, since rocks don't normally fly.
Very well. We'll return when the job is done.
I'll be here. Now, if I can avoid any more visitors, I just might salvage my day. I say this because I saw some royalists bumbling about the pass like a bunch of lost cubs. Thought you might want to know. Tell you what, if you find them, feel free to bring them back. Everyone seems to need my help right now. Might as well be a gracious host.
Alright, I believe that chest is... yes, it's locked. Let me just save for a second. Alright, so to refresh your memory, and to be honest my own as well, last episode we conquered the Stonebridge chapter house, and then we had a little vote as to whether we would go and save the royalists, or whether we would continue with Stonebridge, and obviously as we are in the north right now, we picked the royalists. There is a huge amount of combat in this area, and most of it is not all that interesting. So I'm probably going to skip a lot of it. After a few fights, you pretty much know everything there is to know. These guys just have a lot of health. Sometimes they throw something at you, and that's it. Also, I need to get used to playing the game again.
And there are the floating stones. We're supposed to destroy them, no?
The area is pretty difficult, to be honest. I think we can also... Yes, this opening in the ground radiates a fierce heat, but otherwise resembles ordinary rock. If it has a purpose, you cannot discern it. Let's destroy it. A lot of the enemies in this region deal a whole lot of damage really quickly. Especially those flying things over there. So if I can get rid of those, yes, like that, very quickly, that will make me very happy. Ah, that's not the appropriate spell against those guys. They are mostly stationary, so that's the right way of dealing with them. Let's see, I believe we've got some people to save over here.
Ah, here are our wayward sheep, and already they are menaced by wolves.
What am I shooting at? What are you shooting at? What is going on? Those spiders are jumping spiders. Not the cute and cuddly kind, but the annoying kind that jumps at you and then stuns you.
Who are you? You're not with Jane by the looks of it.
Do I look like I'd be caught dead marching and saluting and praying to dear Saint Jane? I think not.
I'm sorry. These storms have completely turned us around, and we can hardly be expected to know friend from foe. We're grateful for your help. Do you know a way out of this pass?
How did you end up in this part of the mountain?
We're scouts. Lord Devonsey sent us out here to see if the Azanites were braving the pass. This storm came upon us suddenly, and the next thing we knew, we were blind as newborn fracks.
There's a cave not far from here where you can take shelter.
We'll follow your lead.
I think I'm actually going to let them join me for a little bit. Because the next area is not easy. All of this is not easy, but you've already seen most of the enemies that are around here. The plan is to destroy all of those rock formations, floating rock formations, and this area is basically a giant circle. Most of it is astoundingly boring, so we're going to skip a lot of it, really. You know what? Let's start the skipping from here. The soldiers are actually surprisingly helpful, mostly because they block enemies a lot. Alright, oh, an ability. Lovely. It's basically picking between the two least useful abilities, in my opinion. I don't really like the defensive abilities, so... well, let's just pick this one. And I still would like to get more in... Yes, either... Well, a bit more slow and more damage. I want both. 30% slow is good enough, I think. Let's finish up that one. And her as well. This inflicts damage back to an attacker. Reflects. And this repels enemies. Yeah, I think I prefer that one. And what are we going to do here? I think I was, yes, increased damage here. Why not 1 point into that? So that enemies are slowed down, and what else? Knockback. And yes, we need this one. More focus recovery for Katarina. And there is the second of, I don't know, a lot of those stones. Oh shit, that was the entirely wrong button. Anyway, let me just destroy this stone, and then we're going to skip again. Actually, we're going to skip right here.
This is where we met Ibsen. What are we doing back here?
And that is the effect, where after a while of wandering about, we get turned around and we basically find out that we've been running in a circle. Which is perfectly fine with me, because we wanted to return anyway. Oh, Jesus Christ, those things hurt a lot. I'm not sure whether Ibsen is over there, or whether that is one of the quest things we need to get. Either way, I'm going in that direction. Yes, this is probably one of the... Oh yes, Jesus Christ. Let me just get the fuck out of there. That didn't go as planned. Apparently the soldiers are entirely invulnerable. Well, you'd expect so, wouldn't you? With guys that you're supposed to escort. Jesus Christ, what the hell was that? It's been way too long since I've played this. No, I'm not used to this either. What I also found out is that you can actually stack the fire pillar. As long as you have focus, you can just keep on throwing it at the same spot. It's wonderful. Hey, come back here. Alright, this is just... Oh no, we're almost done here, so... shouldn't take that long. I'm a bit sad that this guy is basically just a larger version of the other ones we've seen so far. Because he's not doing anything else. He is just doing pretty much the same things, and has a lot more health. Good. And with that done, we get to destroy this thing. Which is going to take way too long as well, so let's just skip this and head back to Ibsen.
You brought guests, I see. I thought you might go hunting for them. You seemed like the type.
A do-gooder?
A meddler, but at least one with good intentions. Take this for your trouble. Your sorry lot will be staying with me. When you're rested, I'll show you how to get back to your glorified cave.
What will happen to these soldiers? They still need to find a way back to Glitterdelve.
They'll be put to work. Can't expect life-saving assistance for free in this world. Don't worry, they'll make it back.
Your waterfall is frozen now.
Quite a sight, isn't it? As for our deal, here, take this stone. It's a lodestone, a very special kind of rock the dwarves discovered long ago. Certain gems will glow when a lodestar is nearby. Gives off a bright light that'll pierce even the angriest snowstorm. The dwarves placed clusters of these gems on the mountain and used them like beacons. Clever little fellows, I'll admit.
Are these gems worth prying out of rock?
No, at least not to you civilized folk. There are other lodestars that do react to more precious gems, but I certainly don't have a use for them.
Can you point me in a direction at least?
Head west and follow the lights. You'll find your way. While you're out there, you might happen upon a cave. I'll let you in on a secret. It makes for pretty poor shelter. Swarming with Dakin wares and frost imps. Nasty place. Though it could be nice one day if those buggers were cleared out. Do me this favor and I'll toss a little something your way. Good luck out there. Do help yourself to that chest. I may be irritable, but I'm not ungrateful.
We won't forget this, friend. May Azunai watch over you. Thanks for leading us here. The old man's a pain, but we'll be fine.
I barely made it here. I need some rest.
Alright, so he's just given us another side quest. Let's just go and do that first. Which means I'm going to teleport there.
Am I losing my mind to the frost fever, or are those stones glowing?
That's the new, well, it's not really a mechanic, but it's basically the explanation as to why we're now capable of traversing through this area. With the lodestone that we've received, we can find our way out of here by way of these glimmering things. I believe that is the... oh dear, yes, this is already that fight. This is quite a difficult fight, to be honest. Let's see whether I can do it in one go.
This would have to be the cave Ibsen is searching for, yes?
I think my pet is... nope. Alright, let's stay mobile. Well, he was drawing attention for quite a nice while. And that's one of those ads down. I think I'm going to ignore that one and fire away at Prince and Jackie first, because he's got way more damaging ranged attacks. Come on, where is he? Oh, are they standing in the same oh yes, that. Thank you, targeting system. That certainly helps. Alright, come on, this shouldn't be that difficult. The camera isn't helping either. There, wonderful. And he's stunned as well. I'm just going to spam the fire. Oh, alright. Bunch of lovely items. And time to teleport back to Ibsen, basically.
What is it now?
I've been running around a lot out there. What do you do here exactly?
I take great measures to avoid inquisitive travelers. Apparently I'm lousy at it. Quite frankly, I'm tired of people and their failings. Out here, things are calm. For me, that's worth more than all the treasure of Glitterdelve.
I cleared out that cave. The beasts are all dead.
Really? I'm beginning to think it was worthwhile having to deal with you. No. Now that was a silly thought. Altitude must be getting to me. A promise is a promise, though. Take these. You need them more than I ever will.
Oh, that looks actually quite nice. Let's see what that is. Good lord, that's a lot of new items, but most of it looks like it's grey rubbish. I also have forgotten completely what is good in terms of items, I believe. No. Most of what is new is actually rubbish, yes. Oh, this isn't rubbish. That is a straight-up upgrade. Wonderful. Right, let me just do this off-screen. Also, no, wait, the rings. I do want to see what kind of rings these are. This has Chaos Ice, that's it? And Chaos Fire. Huh. Alright, that's not really that great. So let's head out of this area. Yes, the Kari Pass. Unless there is anything particularly interesting on the way out of here. No. That pointer should point to an entirely different direction. Yes, the tumble down chord. That's what we're doing currently. So, yep, over there. Well now, unless there's anything interesting in this direction to be shown, and I'm just going to skip forward. And before I actually... Jesus Christ, come on. Before I forget it, there was actually the new attack. Let's see, does that add DPS to... Yes, it does add DPS to our fire form as well. Oh, we can actually interact with this. The stones embedded in the rock are now glowing brightly in the presence of your lodestone. According to Ibsen, the clusters of glowing stones will serve you as beacons, guiding you along a path to the Glitterdelve mine. Alright, so the new skill actually augments damage in both my forms. That's really useful.
Run! We are not far. I can see the entrance up the path.
Oh, more cannons. What the hell? Well, guess we're not returning there. Yeah, I'm not going to attack that. Just...
Stay calm, don't let them surround you.
Sorry guys, I need to loot. Oh, it's just two of those things. Yeah, well, two of those things is plenty if you can't even actually aim. Oh yes, please stand together. Well, this is just going to take a while. Wow. 768. Katrina? Would you be so kind? No? You're gonna solo it?
Can't have you die.
No, you can't, because otherwise it's game over for you as well. I need to stop getting downed, really.
We barely made it through the collective tunnels. The Dakenwares were an unwelcome surprise. My men fought bravely. We'll have to save the greetings for later. Follow me.
What's this? How did you get here?
Calm yourself, Phineas. Our friend here helped us seal the rear entrance. We're all thankful for your heroics in the swamp. Especially those scouts whose lives you saved. I have no doubt that you'll prove your worth again.
I don't doubt your worth. Your timing is just uncanny. No matter. Jane is doing her best to flood these mines with her men. Their numbers are great, and they've employed a fearsome creature. An old, blind, but powerful war beast. It trampled many of our men. We fell back and collapsed the main entrance, but others remain. For now, we are just trying to hold the Azunites back.
I met her soldiers outside. How long since the fighting began?
3 days, and we won't last another. Listen, Queen Rosalind will want to see you. She's still in her court. Just follow the path up the well.
The Azunites are a formidable enemy. How have you fared against Jane Kassynder?
Not well. We're trying to seal all the tunnels that connect to the surface. But Jane has hundreds of soldiers, and they attack from every direction at once. It's only a matter of time before we're overrun.
The well? I assume that's what we're standing in at the moment.
The deep well, actually. That's what the dwarves called it, when they were here. This chamber led to all the riches found in these mines. The wellspring of dwarven culture. The name was a mark of respect.
There must have been hundreds of dwarves living in these mines. What happened to them?
They died. Honorably, in the service of Her Majesty. Too great a sacrifice. I don't mean to insult the good queen. Azunai knows the loss weighs heavily upon her.
This isn't the sort of mine I expected. Is there anything else I should know?
I'm sure you've noticed more than a few oddities here, like the floating rocks. Dwarven geomancy is still strong in the mines, even if the dwarves are dead. This magic is their greatest legacy. Geomancy governs everything here, even the air you breathe.
I'll go and find the Queen. Good luck to you.
We'll stay here a while longer and make sure that the tunnels will hold. I'll see you at the court.
It's good to see you again. May Azunai keep you safe.
Strange that a hole in the ground could be so beautiful, no?
I didn't notice it before, but yep, everything here is actually working on geomancy. I like the ventilators, or vents, or whatever you want to call them in your language. Well, let's just loot this a little bit, and then we'll continue onwards. I think not in this direction, because nothing's over there. Actually, let's just use the quest marker.
Careful, those flare-ups will cook you alive. There won't be any more explosions like the blast of 943. The dwarves built these magic fans to keep the air clear.
those blast things really don't deal that much damage. Well, let's just go and stand in one. Come on. Oh well, there are more opportunities later on. I think I stood in one of them once and it was about 40 damage. It's nothing to be worried about. Wait, can I already go there? Let me just try this out. I have no idea.
Me, but I'm not entirely sure I trust this platform not to pitch us into the abyss below.
Does this actually go in? Oh yes, it goes towards a chest. 2 chests. Wonderful. More loot than I can carry quite soon, really. I can certainly see why they've called this the Glitter Delve Mine. Or perhaps they made up the name first and then came up with the idea for the mine.
Don't worry, those platforms are safer than they look. Just touch the crystal to make it move.
Yes, but there's chests. Oh, inventory is full. Let me just solve that problem for a second. They really throw quite a silly amount of items at you at some points. These small crystals give off an almost inaudible hum that seems to change in pitch and tone as you reach out to touch it. The dwarven geomancers of old created these devices to control the floating platforms that serve as transportation in the mines. I quite like this area in terms of, well, let's just say, aesthetics. I don't like the walking very much, though.
These tunnels aren't safe, friend. James strains our lines as we speak. Go and see the Queen while there's time.
I think I will not be looking over the edge again anytime soon.
Strange, isn't it? They call it the Stone Stream. Been here for years, and it still confuses everyone but Phineas.
Well, that wasn't skipping ahead as far as I expected it to be. Because the game then suddenly comes up with something to show.
I have never seen a royal court before. Will it be elegant, do you think? Lords and ladies in silks and jewels, romance and...
Her Highness is just through this passageway. Please hurry.
Ah, cutting off Katerina like that. But her expectations are not going to be met anyway. Can I still... Yep, I can still do this. Usually when you get into an area with NPCs, they disable all of your attacks. Like that.
Ah, I suppose that would be a no on the silks and jewels and elegance. I hold little hope for the romance and intrigue.
My lands, my fortune, even my sons. Jane Kassynder took them all from me.
I don't think this court will last much longer, dear. Do you?
We shall never abandon Queen Rosalind. Not that we have anywhere else to go.
Let's see, I believe there are some pieces of VS actual lore over here and another book over there.
Is it true? Are you really from the 10th Legion?
Indeed. Anything else? No, that's it.
Queen Rosalind had a dozen maids in Glayson, but we are all that's left.
Oh dear, royalty actually needs to learn to live without maids.
I cannot believe the royal court has come to this.
Oh boo-hoo.
My lands.
Oh yes, we already did that one.
Even my sons. Too old to fight, they told me.
I worry about my husband in these drafty caverns. He'll catch his death.
You're the ones that helped Lord Devonsey get out of the swamp. The General swears by your prowess in battle. I've been instructed to sell you supplies at a steep discount. At a loss, to be honest. We'd give them away, but resources are scarce.
Right, let's talk to the Queen then, eh?
I can scarce believe my eyes. Queen Rosalind, these are our friends from the swamp, the ones who helped us escape.
You!
You couldn't know them, my queen. Perhaps you saw their kinsmen in a painting, so they only seem familiar.
I saw you in the Moonweald, when you spoke to the golden-haired child. Was it only a dream, or were you really there?
I was there, and I spoke to the child, just as you say.
I know it seems improbable, but of the things I have seen on this journey, such a dream is the least unlikely.
I've met the child before, but only in dreams. 3 nights ago, I saw him again. The child said that Jane and her army were near. That's why I told Lord Devonsey to collapse the front gate.
You said that you've met the child more than once?
The first time was the night my father was killed, and we fled his court in Glayson.
It was Her Majesty's dream that led us safely here. She kept her calm. So young, but very much a queen.
Every time Jane comes close to catching us, the child warns me and we escape. It's happened twice more since Glayson.
Did the child say anything more?
Only that help was coming. 3 days after the siege began.
Jane was clever this time. She traveled only by night, and she kept her army small and silent. We would never have been ready if the Queen hadn't warned us.
Your Majesty, I was sent here to find you. The Legion seeks an alliance with the royal court.
An alliance? I'm not sure the Queen is ready to take such a radical step.
Am I not? My father refused to reconcile with the Legion. He kept his pride and lost himself a kingdom. If not for these Legionnaires, you would still be trapped in the swamp, and I would be at Jane Kassynder's mercy. For that alone, I trust them.
This is not a matter of trust, Your Majesty, but of appearances. The Legion murdered your grandfather.
Katerina, always being the pragmatist, prefers this answer.
If Jane gets hold of the Queen, it won't matter what the people think. We can help you defend this place.
Sensible, no? Surely you will not turn us away.
And in return, the Queen must promise an alliance? Those who mistrust the Legion will say that her hand was forced.
I'll hear no more talk of my grandfather's murder. Whatever the truth may be, these Legionnaires are our guests, and our friends.
The signal? So soon? Jane moved faster than we thought. We're not ready to repel her.
Jane and her army found a way into the mines?
2 ways, actually. We collapsed the main entrance, but we didn't have time to seal the others. She's attacking all the breaches at once. Must be driving her people hard.
Give us your leave, and we'll help you defend this place.
A poor queen I should be if I refused the help of a friend. Lord Devonsey can tell you where you're needed most.
The Jane soldiers are pushing their way into the mining tunnels above and below us. I'd thought to collapse those tunnels more quickly, but my people are too few. We need to drive back the enemy soldiers, set black powder charges at each of the mining tunnels, and get out of the way before they collapse.
How many of your soldiers are left?
Just the few you saw in the swamp. Page boys and destitute lords, most of them.
When the tunnels are sealed, is there any other way for Jane to get inside?
Only one. A half-finished tunnel at the base of the deep well. I'd hoped to seal all the entrances but that one. Force her to attack us there. But the present circumstances may work in our favor. The lower entrance won't seem so much like an obvious trap. Assuming, of course, that we can stop her forces in the mining tunnels.
No time to waste then. I'll head for the mining tunnels.
Roderick is my officer in charge. He's probably on his way to the tunnels.
And thank you. It means a great deal to have the Legion at my side.
Alright, that makes...
Being introduced.
Alright, let's just do this quickly. A pillar of fire, more damage. And, yes, more, what was it, focus?
Please.
yes, Phineas. We'll get to you in a second.
Jeanette, come speak to me when you have a moment. Welcome to our home. Not the most lavish of courts, I'll admit, but it's not without a certain homely charm. Still, what little we do have is at risk. You know this all too well, I'm sure. The battle for this mountain will determine the Queen's future, but also a tissue of the riches of the past. Dwarven treasures that must be preserved.
The floating stones I've seen. You're trying to protect things like that?
Levitating stones are but a trifle. Humble reminders of Glitterdelv's geomantic dependency. Floating stones, flowing water, even the giant fans. All would be impossible if not for the stone stream.
Those floating platforms are amazing. How do they work?
The very rock of the platforms is infused with geomantic energy, which the stone stream replenishes constantly. Were the stone stream to stop functioning, the platforms might follow suit weeks or days later, but no sooner.
I've seen the stone stream and the swirling rocks, but what is it exactly?
Why, it's the Dwarven Geomage's crowning achievement. A stream of magic that flows through all of Glitterdelve. A perfect melding of magic, stone, and life. The very essence of geomancy. The lifeblood of the mines, you could say. I haven't the time to describe every particular. Suffice it to say that life in Glitterdelve would be impossible without it.
But can the stone stream help us in battle?
Perhaps. Its effect is pervasive. We might be able to manipulate it to our advantage. Still, that would be a drastic course of action. For the time being, we must protect what we can.
What exactly are you trying to protect?
Geomantic artifacts are scattered throughout these mines. Tomes, devices, enchantments. And Paynite. One of the rarest gems in all of Ebb. Key to the greatest accomplishments of geomancy.
Why is Paynite so valuable?
Geomancers often used the term facilitator to describe substances that amplify the reach and flow of magic. Among their scholars, no facilitator was accorded higher value than Paynite.
You want me to find some Paynite, I assume?
Yes, you have a lodestone already, so you'll know how to use this. It's a lodestar that reacts to the presence of Paynite. A dozen samples will be sufficient. I will greatly appreciate it if you bring them to me.
What do dwarven riches matter when the mountain is under siege?
I speak of geomancy. Lord Devonsey risked the lives of his men to save me, for I have the power to move Earth. My knowledge must be shared. Imagine what even a dozen men such as myself could do to shape a battlefield. If the Dwarven Geomages yet lived, against all their power and knowledge, Jane would have no hope of entering these mines.
No other royalists know the art?
Students need teachers, and I'm too busy studying the craft to teach it. Every day I learn something new, but I'm years away from being a capable instructor.
Jane is still breaching tunnels. Can geomancy help us right now?
Of course. I still have a role to play in all this, when the time is right. Still, demanding as present needs are, we mustn't neglect the contribution of geomancy to a royalist future. The knowledge must be protected.
I had better head to the mining tunnels.
May the battle go well. Every second that Jane is held back could make the difference.
Alright, with all that done, let's go another quest. No, I'm going to pick that one up next time. We're going to quit here, and next time we're going to go for the defense of the Tumbledown Court as well as Glitterdelve. Alright, have a good evening and see you next time.